Good morning everybody, and welcome back to my channel on Mindfully Trading, where I share educational videos related to trading Forex, as well as an insight into my journey as a Forex trader. I just thought I'd do this quick video with you guys today. As I'm recording this, it's Monday the 3rd of July, and I've just sat down at the computer to basically do my weekly outlook for this coming week, focusing on the Forex pair pound against the dollar, which is the pair that I day trade. Now this is quite a new feature on the channel, showing my weekly outlook, but the video today is probably going to be a little bit quicker because I've got quite a lot on today. I've got to go to see the midwife soon, so that's why I'm just sharing the screencast with you, but I hope you enjoy it. Any resources featured in the video, any software, the charting software that I use, TradingView, the broker, the prop firm, everything like that is in the description below, so make sure you check out those links if you're looking for some more information. And of course, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel for more content related to trading Forex. And let's get into the video. So part one of our weekly outlook for pound dollar will be to do the fundamental analysis, and for that I am on the website forexfactory.com, which is a free resource, allows you to check out upcoming news and economic event releases for the major currency pairs. So from Forex Factory's homepage, I'm going to click on calendar at the top. I already have this filtered on high impact, so you can see the orange or the red here, because I'm only interested in high impact news events which will may affect the market movements and bring some volatility in. So this week, starting with Monday the 3rd of July, it does show you all the major pairs, but I just focus on pairs, news relating to the pairs I trade, which is the US dollar or the Great British Pound. So as you can see here, we've got some major news for US dollar coming out at 3 o'clock today. So I probably won't trade before then, because I'll wait to see what the actual data is for this news release. If it is higher than the forecast, which will be good for the dollar, that may make the pound dollar go down, and vice versa. There isn't actually much news on Tuesday, just for Australian dollar, and on Wednesday we've got FOMC minutes being released for the dollar in the evening, so it might make a bit of a choppy start to the week. Moving into Thursday, there's quite a bit of major news release for US dollar. We've got the unemployment claims, which tend to have quite an impact on the market, as well as more ISM services PMI at 3 o'clock. And then Friday of this week, it's the first Friday of a new month, so obviously it is NFP day, non-farm payment, the non-farm employment change, which can and usually does have quite a dramatic effect on market movements. A lot of people tend to trade another currency or even commodities such as gold that is highly affected by the dollar, but for me personally, I'll wait to see what happens when that's released and if there are any potential opportunities for a trade following that news release at 1:30. So just to recap this quick breakdown on the fundamental for this week, it looks like we might see a bit of a choppy start and end, so it could be interesting trading the US dollar this week. But of course, if you trade any other pair, it's always good to just be aware of this data. It's interesting because there isn't actually much being released this week for the pound or for the euro. It looks like it's mainly Australian dollar and US dollar, and a bit of Canadian as well. So if you trade any of those pairs, it's really good to just be aware of what time and day these news releases are coming in, and because you may have to just manage your trade accordingly. So now let's just jump onto my charting platform here on TradingView. I've been using TradingView for about 5 years now. They're brilliant. I've never used a different platform. I've had no reason to, because they provide everything that I need to trade effectively and cost effectively as well, which is always useful. So here I'm on the weekly time frame for pound dollar, and I'm just going to zoom right in and see what happened last week. So I don't know about you guys, but last week for me was quite a choppy week trading pound dollar. I didn't seem to get that many good opportunities, and you can kind of see why in the weekly price action, because we have been coming up in this uptrend, making a higher high, a higher low, nice strong push up. And at the moment, what phase of the market are we in? We seem to be in a period of pullback, a reaction phase in the market. So last week, we didn't get a lot of movement. It's not a very big candle, but it is a bearish candle, but it's also a doji candle. So you can see that we did sell off, but there was still some indecision. We've got a large lower wick here, rejecting these levels at the bottom, but there wasn't quite enough volume coming in to continue this bullish trend up. So we're still in this unsure period for pound dollar where we're pulling back and we're waiting for something to help it to carry on moving up or for the bears to take over. Now these levels I've got drawn out here that you can see, the black lines are institutional price levels at key levels in price, namely the whole dollar and the half dollar, and that blue level is this key weekly level here. We had 2 points of reaction to, and it looks like price may be reacting to that as well. And this box, just if you're wondering, that is a Fibonacci optimum trade entry level that I've used from this higher authority time frame, and it just marks these 3 lines here. I actually drew that box from the daily, but it's the same principle from this weekly pullback, because if it's a deeper pullback, there is a probability that price will retrace to this level, and that could provide an area where we may see a reaction to and could lead to a trade opportunity. So that's why that's on my charts as well. But all I can take from this is the phase of the market that we're in a pullback, and the fact that at the moment we are inside this weekly range here. If we get a push above this, it doesn't immediately mean that all the volume's coming into the long side, because it's obviously not closed there yet on the week. So I think that this, in confluence with the fundamentals coming out this week, could lead to another potentially choppy week. But usually when NFP is released, it does tend to bring in a lot more certainty for the following month ahead, that it may be that we get another little inside bar candle on the weekly, or we might actually close above if it's good news for the pound NFP. So if the dollar's actually got bad news for that, in which case it's just basically going to set up for next week. Vice versa, if NFP is really good news for the dollar, which means it'd be weak for the pound, we may see a very weak candle on the weekly here for this close, which could indicate a deeper pullback down. So I think as it stands with this week, it may just indicate a slower, choppier week again. But let's just drop to the daily just to get a little bit more insight on what we're looking at for the technicals. I've had this orange box drawn out for quite some time now because this is daily fair value gap. I explained it in the weekly outlook video from last week, so if you're not sure what that is, you can always check that out on the other video, but it just marks this gap in the market down where price is likely to return to. It acts like a magnet. And I'm just going to add another one of these institutional price levels here. There's a few things to be aware of from the daily here. I mean, overall, looking at the larger swings, it's important to be aware that price is trending up until it breaks this daily low here with momentum. We are in an overall larger time frame uptrend, but we are in a short-term pullback, which means that there could be opportunities for shorts scalping this pullback, but they're probably going to be quite tricky because the larger current, the flow is up. So if we're looking for shorts, we're basically swimming against that longer time frame current, as it were. But zooming right in on the most recent price action for the daily, I mean, this has been going on for 2 weeks now, this pullback. And we did actually get a strong close on the Friday. We broke this daily high here from the Thursday, and we closed quite strong bullish. However, the day before was quite a bearish candle. In fact, it did make a little fair value gap. So from the low of this green candle here to the high of candle number 3 on the Thursday, you can see that this candlestick for Wednesday, the 28th of June, just dropped down, and the wicks from candle number 1 and candle number 3 don't touch, so it created this fair value gap in the market. Now, although Friday's close was strong bullish, it broke the high, and that would make me think that we'd be ready to look for longs. It went into this fair value gap, and then we did get this big wick rejecting this area here, which isn't a strong signal for me to immediately look for longs. It just means it's taken the market up into this area. It's closed below this institutional price level. It's still quite an unclear place in the market. So if today's candlestick breaks this previous daily candlestick's high, then that could indicate that we are taking back up on this long trend, and I'd be looking for longs following that push up. However, I'm also going to mark this previous daily low, Because for my day trading strategy, once I've got a weekly bias and a daily bias, I tend to look for breaks of key levels. Now, obviously, the problem we're in is the weekly and the daily bias isn't completely clear because we're in a reaction phase, we're pulling back. So I'll definitely be playing it cautiously today, especially in light of upcoming news that's released at 3. I think that news will have an impact on the market this week because the technicals are not strong enough for me for trades at the moment. So if we get some strong movements generated from the news, that means that we are breaking key levels and then we are getting some kind of reaction around them in line with my strategy, which utilizes a market structure together with Fibonacci retracement and the optimum trade entry, then I will look for trades. But if I don't get anything that matches my strategy pretty much perfectly, I'm probably going to play it very cautiously this week because I think that the technicals are looking choppy and the fundamentals are also looking choppy. We've got FOMC Wednesday evening and NFP Friday. So I think it's probably going to be another uncertain ride this week for pound dollar in the market, which is partly why I've been spending a lot of time backtesting my strategy on another pair as well, because when the market is in a phase like this on the larger time frames, when it's in a reaction phase, sometimes it's better to just sit out and wait for a decisive move, for momentum to come back. Because after this pullback, we had this previous high here, price pulled back. In the pullback, you can see the little swings that it made, the low, but as it pushed up past this little swing here and closed here, that's when this new uptrend started. And in that leg, it made swings, but these are all really good potentials for longs because we're in a push phase. Whereas now we just seem to be in this pullback, making little swings. So at the moment, what I'm waiting for really on the daily is for it to do the same pattern, to break past this previous swing here and start to resume this uptrend. And that's when, for me, my strategy really comes into play because that's when I can capitalize on the uptrend. And I think that's where it could be good to have a couple of pairs to trade, a couple of assets to trade, because when one just is not matching up with your strategy, you can't really force it because that's how you can obviously increase your chances of taking losers, and that doesn't make to good long-term consistency as a trader. But I'll let you know how it goes with that. Meanwhile, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, a little insight into my outlook for the week trading pound dollar. If you have, do let me know by hitting the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel below. And have a great week. I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.